Okay, there's been a lot of confusion about what is the deletion of the zeros. Okay, so I'm going to explain what a redenomination is and revaluation, as well as the deletions of the zero. And I can understand why there's a lot of confusion because people, again, you're conflating everything together. So let me go ahead and explain this to you, okay? So it's been brought to my attention several times by people saying, oh, if they delete the zeros, Lee, that means we're going to lose money. And I say, well, what do you think? Why do you think that? They say, well, if they delete the 3 zeros, because that's what Iraq's talking about, is removing the 3 zeros. So if they have a $25,000 dinar, then it's only going to be equal to $25. We're going to lose money. I think people are really confused about how this works. So let me go ahead and explain it to you so that you understand. There's a difference between what happens in country versus what happens out of Iraq, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and explain it to you so that you're not confused. This is all going to happen at the same time. So I want to make sure that you understand this. In country, in Iraq, they're going to do a redenomination. At the same time, a revaluation of the money. What I mean by that is they're going to take and revalue the money. So a $1 bill is now going to have the same purchasing power as a $1,000 dinar. So a $1 dinar is going to have the same purchasing power as a $1,000 dinar. That's because they're doing a redenomination. They're going to introduce the lower banknotes, okay? And they want to remove the larger banknotes off the streets. This is where you get the deletion of the zeros. Okay, so there's confusion going on. Keep in mind, this is only in country. This is only going to happen in Iraq. It's going to happen all at the same time. You're going to have a redenomination, the introduction of the lower banknotes, and you're going to have a revaluation where this single dinar is going to have the same value as the $1,000 dinar, only for a short period of time. That's because when you bring in your $1,000 dinar, they're only going to give you back 1 dinar. So you can imagine the confusion, how many people are going to be upset. This is why you hear the government say, look, we need security. They keep talking about how they don't have enough security because people are going to be confused at first about what's going on. This is why we see articles about them educating the public. They want to make sure that they know that when they walk into the bank, you might be coming in with this $1,000 bill, but it's only equal to a purchase power of a single dollar bill. So for us in America, if you took my $1,000 bill and you gave me $1 back, all hell would break loose. So you can understand why they keep talking about how they need a security available and they need to educate the public, because this is what happens at the same time. This is a redenomination, meaning this bill is going to have the zeros deleted and it's going to be equivalent to 1 dinar. Okay, that's what it is. So a redenomination and a revaluation are going to happen at the same time. The revaluing is the deletion of the zeros. That means a $1 bill is going to be equivalent to a $1,000 dinar. A $5 dinar is going to be equivalent to a $5,000 dinar. A $10 dinar is going to be equivalent to a $10,000 dinar, and so on and so forth. Okay? So when you delete the zeros, this is what they're doing. They're just removing the zeros. This is where you get the idea that they're revaluing. In other words, they're increasing the purchasing power in Iraq. Remember, all I'm talking about right now just happens in country. So the revaluation is they're giving the people more purchasing power. So for now, the $1,000 dinar will have the same equivalent purchasing power as a $1 single dinar for the purpose of removing the larger bills off the streets. That's where you get this from. Removing the larger bills off the streets, the deletion of the zeros. That's because the value in country is going to be equal, okay? So for us out of country, it's a rate change. This is totally different than what happens in country. We're not in country. What's happening in Iraq, the only thing that's going to happen to them is their purchasing power is going to increase. Okay, you're giving more value to their money. And since they are talking about the deletion of the 3 zeros, I'll continue with that example. So this is the nominal value right now of the Iraqi dinar. So for every one United States dollar, we get 0.00084 Iraqi dinars. That's the equivalence, okay? But when they do the redenomination and the revaluation in country, out of country, it's a rate change. So if they're going to remove the 3 zeros, that means the decimal moves over 3 places, okay? So what is that equivalent to for us? Well, if you flip it back this way here, the decimal moves from here, goes over 1, 2, 3 places. That gives us a rate of $1.19. So for every 1 Iraqi dinar we give them, they give us back $1.19 US dollars, okay? So see, people are confusing and conflating these all together. What happens in country with the deletion of the zeros has nothing to do with us outside of the country. So in country is a redenomination and a revaluation of the currency, so they could remove the larger bills, banknotes off the street, the deletion of the zeros. But for us out of country, it's a rate change, okay? Now, I'm not saying this is going to be a rate. I'm only using this as an example. You got to keep in mind, there are going to be other factors that really determine the rate. But this is just for the purpose of simplification. I wanted to use what we're already out there having. Okay, so just a real quick wrap up. In country, in Iraq, they're going to do a redenomination, the introduction of the lower banknotes, and a revaluation. So this is no longer 1001. It's going to be, these two things are going to be the same. The $1 dinar is going to be equal in purchasing power to the $1,000 dinar until you bring into the bank your $1,000 dinar, and they remove them, they delete them. They take them off the streets, and they start getting the public to use the lower banknotes, because those lower banknotes have increased in purchasing power in country. For us on the outside, the rate has changed. So deletion of the zeros as a rate change for us. You just simply move the decimal over 3 places, and that's what it is for us on the outside, okay? And so in country, they got an increase in purchasing power, so it's not like they're going to become rich. It's just that they have more items they could buy with their money. For us outside, well, of course, we become rich, and then next thing you know, we're all partying and celebrating, okay? So I hope that answers the question. I notice a lot of people are confused about what the deletion of the zeros mean. In country, yes, it's the deletion of the zeros off a $25,000 dinar is going to have the same purchasing power as a $25 dinar. They're the same. That doesn't have anything to do with us outside of the country, okay? I hope that answers your question. Have a good day.